All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're tackling a huge issue that's kind of hiding in plain sight. It's the real reason why so many companies invest a ton into channel partners, only to see those big initiatives quietly, well, fall flat.
So to really get a handle on this silent failure, we first have to appreciate just how massive partner sales have become. This isn't some niche strategy anymore, not by a long shot.
In fact, if you look at the data, a staggering 89% of sales teams are already using partner sales to go to market. I mean, think about that. That is nearly 9 out of every 10 companies. It's absolutely mainstream.
But here's the paradox, right? Even with this massive adoption, and with 84% of sales pros saying its impact on revenue is growing, a whole lot of these channel initiatives are seriously underperforming. There's this huge gap between how much everyone believes in the strategy and the results they're actually getting.
And that, of course, brings us to the big question for today. If almost everyone is doing it, and everyone believes in it, why are so many of these partner channels just not delivering on their promise? What's the missing piece of the puzzle here?
Now, what's really interesting is that the root cause isn't what most people think it is. The problem isn't that there's a shortage of good partners out there to work with. No, the real issue is something much more fundamental.
See, the crucial difference comes down to this. Are you just doing partners, or do you have a deliberate, written, and operational channel partner program? Most companies, honestly, are stuck in this ad hoc reactive mode. The ones who are crushing it, they're intentional and strategic about it.
So what even is a program, really? It's not just a verbal agreement or a link to some generic online portal. It's a formal, working document. Think of it as the actual blueprint that defines the entire partnership: the who, what, how, and why.
And a strong program, it's not just paperwork, it actually does two really critical jobs at the same time, and this completely changes the whole dynamic.
First, it acts like a magnet. I mean, you've got this crowded ecosystem where every vendor is screaming for a partner's attention. A well-defined program cuts through that noise. It attracts the right kind of partners, the serious ones, who are looking for a real committed relationship.
And second, it works like an operating system. It gives you the structure, the rules, and the alignment you need for partners to actually get active, stay focused, and be successful. It's what turns good intentions into a repeatable, scalable business motion. And this right here becomes a powerful competitive advantage. Because in today's world, you're not just competing with your product, you're competing for the attention and focus of your partners.
This is a great way to see the why from both sides of the table. For partners who are constantly juggling where to put their time and energy, a program gives them clarity and predictability. And for you, the vendor, the simple act of writing the program forces you to get your own house in order, to get aligned internally on strategy and what you're willing to invest.
Just try to put yourself in their shoes for a second. A strong program answers all their biggest questions right up front. In a super competitive space, that level of clarity will win a partner's focus and resources over some vague promises from your competitors every single time.
So what actually goes into a program that can do all this? Well, while every company is a bit different, the really effective ones are all built on the same core principles.
These 5 elements, they're the pillars holding the whole thing up. It has to kick off with mutual commitment, a really clear what's in it for you, what's in it for me. From there, you build aligned incentives that reward the right kinds of behaviors. Then, you've got to provide differentiated enablement to make selling your product easy for them. You wrap it all in clear governance to get rid of any confusion. And finally, you give it an operating rhythm, which is what turns it from a static document into a living, breathing system that actually works.
And this brings us to the big strategic payoff. When you get this right, a well-designed program lets you completely change the rules of the game, especially when you're up against bigger players with deeper pockets.
So here's the key takeaway. Smaller or mid-sized companies usually can't win by outspending their rivals on marketing. They win on program quality. They compete on being clearer, more disciplined, and by building a better working relationship. All things that you deliberately design right into the program itself.
And that leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question to think about for your own business. It's not enough to just say you're partner-friendly. Is your program just a piece of paper, or is it a true engine, one that's built for focus, for discipline, and for real-world execution?